In everyday life, our decisions have little impact, but when planning an adventure, every step should be taken with caution, or your decision could be a death trap. This is a horror story of 10 skiers who left a mountain lodge more than 9,000 feet up in the Swiss Alps, surrounded by chilly rocky peaks, on Sunday, April 29, 2018 at 6:30 a.m. for one of the most thrilling journeys of their lives. In Europe, it is known as De Hut. It is an old 3-story building. Because there is great food and tons of wine, it is a popular location for skiers on multi-day tours in the Alps. Tomasso Piccioli is a 50-year-old Italian architect. He has been a member of the Alpine Club for more than 20 years. He's organized numerous ski and mountain trips. On the tour, he was accompanied by 3 of his friends, Marcello Alberti and his wife Gabriella Bernardi, both experienced climbers, Francesca, an Alpine Club member, Andrea Gregioni, a nurse, Lisa Hagen, and another man were also in the group. Tomasso only knew his friends, but he could tell they were all experienced. Next to them was Mario, an internationally certified mountain guide. The group had planned to travel from the Delage to Nakamoli, but bad weather was predicted. Mario explained that he was changing the destination location to Vignay Lodge, which would shorten the day's length by 3 hours while still leaving on time and not waiting for the storm to pass. Except for Tomasso, they agreed on Mario's call. The group strapped their backpacks with extra clothes, snacks, and thermoses of hot tea and water, along with their gear, and set out on their adventure. The route from Des Lodges to Vignay consists of a long climb, followed by a long descent. It wasn't difficult for these seasoned skiers. In good weather, this route is relatively easy, but in bad weather, it was a nightmare. The tricky part about this route is that after the descent, you must find a small passageway marked by a pile of rocks, which is impossible in poor visibility. After that path, there is a fall line, and in bad weather, you may not see it and be thrown off the cliff. At 10 a.m., they were high up on the ropes when the weather began to change rapidly. Due to fog and snow, their visibility was reduced to 0. Despite this, they skied for another 2 hours. Mario navigated using his smartphone, whereas other guides rely on GPS devices as a backup. They realized somewhere uphill that there was a problem with Mario's phone because the GPS wasn't working properly. They were terrified because they realized the gravity of the situation. Tomasso took out his GPS to navigate, but it didn't work. Mario ignored Tomasso's advice to go to the other side, away from the storm. The weather was worsening, and only Tomasso's GPS was working. Another French ski trip joined them after getting lost. The wind picked up as the skiers descended the summit. Before moving further in the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. They tried for hours, but couldn't find the lodge, so some of the members began acting aggressively to turn around and call for help. As the storm intensified, they had no visibility. Mario ignored them and continued forward, and they soon began the descent toward the Vignay Lodge. Some members of the group began to freeze and had difficulty continuing the descent. Mario thought he was close, but he had no idea where he was. At 8 p.m., they decided to call it a day because the wind was a hurricane. Tomasso heard Gabriella moaning. He yelled, but she didn't respond. He dug a small shelter for her and her 2 companions. The other people also dug some shelters, but not too many. They were about to fall apart. They needed to keep moving and stay awake to avoid freezing to death, but they couldn't. This was the last time Tomasso heard from Mario before the blizzard blinded his eyes. Fortunately, the group made it through the night, but they were all in bad shape. Tomasso thought he was going to die. The storm eventually passed. He then proceeded to check on his friends. Lisa was awake, but several others were not. He was sitting with Lisa, drinking tea, when he noticed some skiers nearby. He yelled, "Help! Help!" and they noticed him. After 15 minutes, a helicopter arrived and took them to the hospital. Except for Lisa, Tomasso, another of their friends, Luciano, and 4 of the French skiers, everyone else died. It was tragic that all of these experts made a poor decision that resulted in their deaths. As you've made it this far, please let us know in the comments, what do you think of this incident? Please leave a like and subscribe to Catastrophe. Thanks for watching.